everyone, coming up here on the Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. AJ Lee set to appear on Raw the first time in over 10 years. What AJ Lee will say and what AJ Lee will do, we'll talk about it coming up here. Also, too, here on the Raw Ring Report, we go to this right here. Main event Jey Uso, and his response, his brother Jimmy respond after he stopped the Jimmy's attack on his brother. What would main event Jey Uso have to say about his brother? One against the Vision, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. We'll talk about it here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Also, too, talk about this right here. Live Valkyria takes on Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. These women will go 1-1. See that match coming up. Well as this match right here, AJ Styles going 1-on-1 against El Gran Americano as well. So we're gonna get a lot of stuff going on here on the Raw Ring Report right here, right now. So let's get things started here right now. Here on the Raw Ring Report right here. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you can join us on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Don't waste your time whatsoever. This thing started here on the Pro Wrestling Show with the Uso brothers, Jimmy and Jey. Kicked off Raw in a big way by coming out there and making a splash. Jimmy and Jey came out there. The Uso brothers know as they can come out there, make a splash. And the Uso brothers making their difference tonight. The Usos coming out there to celebrate. I guess not celebrate, but to want to call out Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. The Uso brothers won a match against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed trying to dress down the Uso, the whole their family and Naughty family, saying they put out their cousin Roman Reigns, which they did, both of them. They're gonna do the same to the Uso brothers sooner rather than later. The Uso brothers was not impressed whatsoever about what went down, and like I said, they went to show what they was going to do and how they was going to do it and stuff like that. Did issue a challenge to Braun Breaker and Bronson for a match at WrestlePalooza, a tag team match. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed accepted the match, and it's going to happen at WrestlePalooza. Tag team match, Breaker and Reed taking on the Uso brothers, Jimmy and Jey, at WrestlePalooza. They're stacking this WrestlePalooza card up, match card left and right. You see, they're going to happen. LA Knight stuck his nose in their business. LA Knight might be cool with Jimmy, but Jay's not feeling LA Knight. A lot of tension going on between them, so you can tell right there. LA Knight wanted to get his hands on both Braun and Bronson for causing him a shot at the World Championship. There's still some underlying tension going on between Jey and LA Knight due to the World Championship. Like we said, we're going to see that match coming up a little bit later on. LA Knight will go 1-on-1 against Bronson Reed. 1-on-1. So we'll see that match a little bit later on in the show. Well, we get to this right here. We saw LA Knight coming in the aid of both, you know who. So he want to do what he need to do. Well, AJ Styles was in action. AJ Styles was in action against El Gran Americano. AJ Styles didn't hold back one bit. AJ Styles getting the win. The help of Dragon Lee in his corner. Dragon Lee playing dividends tonight. Helping out AJ Styles. AJ Styles probably didn't need his help, but AJ Styles was glad enough that he came and helped him get what he needed to get. So we see that coming forward between AJ Styles and getting the help that he needs and stuff like that. But AJ Styles um, going through a lot, wanting to get his hands on becoming a continental champion. We'll tell you a little bit later on in the heat check. Get the heat check if we can find it. What's going on, AJ Styles, with this clock right here? What's going on with that? We'll talk about it in a minute later on the heat check. So look forward to seeing it on the heat check. Well, NXT, well not NXT, but Adam Pearce, the general manager, informed Io Sky that she was supposed to have a face to face with Stephanie McCure. That's no longer going to happen tonight. Io Sky wanted that face to face, but the contract signing, Stephanie McCure won't be there. But he assures Stephanie that Io, that Stephanie will be at WrestlePalooza for the vacant Women's World Championship. That match will happen at WrestlePalooza. Looking forward to seeing that. But Sky has been relegated to the backstage. I don't know why, but hey, it is what it is. We get to this right here. The much anticipated return of AJ Lee. AJ Lee is back, and AJ Lee looking forward to coming back with a vengeance. AJ Lee was teased, and she came back to help aid her husband, CM Punk, from Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch did not see this one coming. AJ Lee coming out there to help her husband, CM Punk, aid from Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, she really don't know if she getting her hands full with AJ Lee returning to SmackDown last week, this past Friday. It was Seth Rollins was a little bit puzzled and bewildered on what's going on, that his wife got called out. And here's the official photo. Triple H welcoming back AJ Lee along with CM Punk, her husband. AJ Lee back. AJ Lee back in better vengeance. And AJ Lee was back, and AJ Lee looked at phenomenal as she did. AJ Lee talked about everything, talked about mental illness, mental health. Talking about she over her past 10 years, she did everything she wanted to do. She wanted to travel. She wanted to go around the world. She did this. She wrote a book. She was a New York Times bestseller like Becky Lynch. AJ Lee saying therapy is good, and therapy is good for certain people, but AJ Lee digress. AJ Lee came out there with the Women's Intercontinental Championship belt home around by the current proprietor, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was a little bit upset and perturbed that she wanted her belt back, and she wanted her belt back in all ways until Becky's husband, the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, came out there to try to be a peacemaker between the two. Seth Rollins tried his best to try to retrieve the belt, but AJ Lee denied him of getting the championship back, Becky's belt, and Becky Lynch a little bit PO and pissed off. AJ Lee saying that she wants a mixed tag team match between her husband CM Punk against Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, her husband. This is going to be the first time ever in WWE history that real life husband and wife duos will meet in the ring. So we got Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins will be in one corner against CM Punk and his wife AJ Lee. AJ returned to the ring nearly 10 years to take on Becky Lynch. So looking forward to seeing that match as well at WrestlePalooza. Let's get the card right here. This is the official match right here. A real life husband and wife duo, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, taking on real life husband and wife duo, CM Punk and AJ Lee at WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis in a mixed tag team match. Looking forward to seeing that. It'll be the first inaugural ESPN event. We'll see that heading forward to that match. But AJ Lee looking better than ever before. AJ Lee proving to herself that anybody can do it like her. Well, speaking of that, and speaking of AJ, who she knew, long run do with John Cena. John Cena will be coming back to Raw next Monday in Springfield, Massachusetts, near near his West Newbury, Massachusetts. So John Cena returning back to a hometown celebration. We'll see John Cena back on Raw next week. Looking forward to seeing the John Cena back. Speaking of John Cena's ex, Nikki Bella had a run in with Oscar, and they had an impromptu match. Nikki Bella and Oscar would meet one on one, and Nikki Bella did go against Oscar. And Oscar proving to the world that she is dominant. She put Nikki Bella to sleep with the Oscar lot. You know that Oscar and Nikki Bella. And I was about to say to the commentary team, they did their homework. Oscar and Nikki Bella was part of the first women's Royal Rumble. Two women, last women standing until Oscar won the Royal Rumble. Nikki Bella was the runner up. Glad they did make mention of it. Thank God they did, but they didn't. They was gonna be messed up. You saw that tonight. That Oscar won her match tonight. And Oscar did the damage that she needed to do, and Oscar won so effortlessly tonight as she did. Well, we get to this right here. A huge match, a woman's match right here. Live Valkyria took on Raquel Rodriguez. This was nothing pretty, nothing easy. But Raquel Rodriguez won the Tahala bomb, pinning Live Valkyria. Live Valkyria went down to the count 1, 2, 3. Well, we told you this right here. Live Valkyria worried about Becky, Bailey. Bailey still having her manic episodes. Bailey calling out her good side and her bad side. And Bailey's trying to figure out which side she needs to do. Well, figure out what Bailey wants to do. Bailey wants to do what she needs to do to build herself. I just hope that Live Valkyria knows what she's doing because Bailey looks like she's the type of person that's going to attack Live Valkyria sooner rather than later. So looking forward to seeing that as well. Speaking of that, Russo coming off his win from Clash at the Castle in that good old Donnybrook match over Sheamus. Russo wants some new competition, and the general manager Adam Pearce will give him new competition, saying that Russo may go against Penta. Russo went against Penta, and what a match that was! Russo versus Penta. Russo annihilated Penta as he did. Russo just told down Penta. Russo now the new number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship. Russo now has a shot to become Intercontinental Champion. Penta really didn't have a chance in the world to become Intercontinental Champion. So Pentas might have to realize what he's gonna have to go through. But Russo will probably one day challenge this man, Dominic Mysterio, for the coveted Intercontinental Championship. Dominic Mysterio looking for his sights on some gold. He's gonna compete for the Triple A Mega Championship. Dominic providing that he's gonna be the next mega champion. I guess in Triple A words like the Mexican heavyweight champion. So we'll see if Dominic can be man his word and win the Mexican championship this Friday for Worlds Collide. Well, a Worlds Collide pay per view. I wish they would have done that for like Saturday or something. I don't know why they want to do it on Friday. Which is crazy. They should did it on Friday, but to each his own on that. We'll see that coming up. Well, we get to the main event. LA Knight was in action tonight. LA Knight. You can show a picture of LA Knight. LA Knight was in action tonight. LA Knight took on Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, if we can show Bronson Reed right quick, Karen, producer man. Bronson Reed coming out the heels of losing to Roman Reigns, but really beating down Roman Reigns with Braun Breaker. You saw that tonight as well. That Bronson Reed won his match over LA Knight. But that wasn't far from over. Bronson Reed taking his anger, his issues to you know who, the Usos, and leaving the Usos mark with Braun Breaker. We know that the Usos and Braun Breaker will have their match coming up at WrestlePalooza in a tag team match. We'll see that as well. You see LA Knight attacking Jimmy. Them to Main Jey Uso came out there and try to help save both of them. But Jey Uso decided to take matters in his own hand and super kick the crap out of LA Knight and did so. LA Knight got super kicked after Jimmy was trying to mediate. Jimmy was trying to be a mediator, and that really didn't work for neither parties. It's like LA Knight and Jey Uso having their issues, and their issues spilling over due to the World Championship that they supposed to have. Is Jey Uso gonna turn heel? One time with Terry, we'll have to wait and see on that. But wasn't nothing to add to. This round was so. It was saved by the return of AJ Lee. AJ Lee really helped save this Raw tonight. It's kind of lackluster, but AJ Lee will team up with her husband. AJ Lee will team up with her CM Punk to take on the team of Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins at WrestlePalooza. We'll see that match coming forward at WrestlePalooza coming up. All right. That's going to end the Raw Ring Report. Let's move forward to wrestling, to the Heat check right here, right now. On the Heat check, speaking of that, we told you AJ Styles had a busy week. AJ Styles really going to have some busy week. We're seeing that the WWE collection, AJ Styles is going to have AJ Styles Retro. This kind of reminds me of AJ Styles when he was in TNA. AJ Styles was clean cut and babyface, and now AJ Styles is going to get his TNA model in the WWE games, the 2K games. But speaking of that, AJ showing this right here, the phenomenal sandglass. I guess he's trying to say time is coming off to the essence. We'll see what AJ Styles is going to do coming forward, but we still looking at this game right here. We're seeing that Cody Rhodes is going to be on the game with that torn scar that really he had to go through to get to the level he been through, as well as AJ Styles, Trish Stratus, and Goldberg. So a lot of key players in this coming up for the download content. Someone literally made this AJ Lee model, which is crazy. Good God, they didn't waste no time whatsoever with this AJ Lee model. They did so tonight with the AJ Lee model, doing everything they can. Well, Valhalla has been released. You can tell her Valhalla. We got this Vanessa back. We had to do a screenshot, but Valhalla was the manager of the War Raiders. She's been let go. So guess she's a mama too now. So she's not really dealing with that. So we'll see how that's gonna go for Valhalla. So also too, yeah, this is gonna be it. Because we covered everything tonight. We know next week that John Cena. We show John Cena. John Cena returning back to Raw. John Cena will be back next week on Raw. He'll tell. He'll be in Springfield, Massachusetts to set the sights of what's going on with him. Plus, too, we know that next week, um, CM Punk and AJ Lee will have a face to face with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins once again to promote their match coming up for WrestlePalooza. So we're looking forward to seeing that as well. Also, too, can we see that the Usos, what's going on with the Uso brothers in the mix with LA Knight? We'll just have to wait and see how all this is going to come around. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendra Dick, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here, Pro Wrestling Show.